Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, this is a video that's a little bit different, sort of looking at my tactics from my first cup final win, which was the Cornwall Supplementary Cup. So we're sort of looking at that now. So the red is my team and my tactics. The blue is how our opposition set up. Now, when I was looking into when I was preparing for the cup final, one of the things I went and did was go and watch these guys. I went and watched the semi-final of the cup. I believe it was a Thursday night or something, and I've gone down to watch the cup semi-final between it was between this club. This club here was Dropship, and the other club that were playing at the time, I believe, was actually St Agnes. Was St Agnes they were playing. It was a close game, scrappy game, 1-1. I think it went to penalties. So sort of learnt a little bit about their styles as well. Now, what their style of play mainly was, they were mainly set up in a 4-4-2. So they set up like this. So they had their goalie, who was actually only really a good kicker, wasn't a very good shot stopper. Anything that wasn't at her, I'd imagine she'd struggle with, or she did in the game with us. But she did it in the cup. That's something that we identified early on. What they would do is they'd almost make it a midfield 5. This player would drop in there, and what they would do is, with the ball from a goal kick, she'd lump it up to the big girl up front, the big physical player up front, and then she'd look to play it out wide, or she'd look to play it back off to that other striker and then drop off and allow her to drive forward. Now, what that did is not really sort of make it easy for us to defend against, because what we started doing to counteract that, so I'm talking about us defensively here. You can see they're set up in that 4-4-2. What we started doing defensively is, I've got my striker here, I've got my other striker sort of slightly further in front, so they're forming like a diagonal line, a diagonal press, if you like, in here, knowing that this goalie is going to try and kick this ball up here. So we know that that player drops in, we know that she comes into here, she's the target man. Yeah, excuse the pun, or target girl in this situation. So we know that they're trying to do that. We know that that is Dropship's whole style, and then they look to get these players on the ball when they do that, and they look to come out here. We also know that these players aren't the best at crossing, but we'll go on to that in a little bit more detail. So we then knew, like I say, so you've then got our midfield base. So we got a 4, and this does become a 4 at time. When we're defending, it becomes a 4. It's a little bit like this. So it's more of a 4-3-1-2. It was the way we sort of set up in that final. What we would then do is this player, the attacking mid, would come into this sort of space in here between the blues. You then notice that there's no pass on in here. Push up, push her up there, there. So you see, it seems like a bit of a loose shape, and you've still got you've got one that drops like that, one who sweeps, she comes up, she comes up. Now it looks a bit unconventional, but it was something that we identified would work. So this ball now comes out, they now try and play this ball. More often than not, it was sometimes flicked up here, she heads it down, we create a chance. We've got a few chances from that. She's not going to play this ball out here, because she knows if this ball comes out here, we've got a player across, fall back in. But it's not that. But also, she knows this full back. She knows this full back out here has got a touch of a trampoline, which is something we identified. So we knew that we could almost leave their 4 wide players out the way because they weren't really much of a threat. And we were shown that ball actually was played a few times, and we win a throw in up here. So that is part of it. We knew that we'd win a throw in if this has gone this way, and they've done it a couple of times where it's gone that way, and same sort of outcome. She's either kicked it out or it's gone and created a chance, and they've touched it and it's come to our red player out here. So that's sort of the defensive shape. That's sort of how I set up in that sort of game defensively. Like I say, what they were doing is, like I say, we could leave these players free. They were still keeping the 4 like that at the back. So this ball was played over. It's played in there. You've then got 1, 2, 3 players in there. So she hasn't got anything on. The only thing they did do a couple of times, this player was probably their best player, their number 6. She would sort of read it, and they would be able to. She'd try and hold it. Obviously, we got R3 here, so she can't go there. She can't go. She can't get through here because we've got these 3. We got this here potentially at times. So she knows she can't drive with it, and she wasn't the kind of player to want to drive with it anyway. So this ball has then come back out here a couple of times, but then all we've done is there, tight in this little gap, centre back tight, and centre back here. So it is quite a high line. In that, it's quite a high line, and it minimises. People say it's high risk, but against a team that doesn't really look to play the ball over the top because she can't get there, it's actually quite clever because you're pushing them up and you're pushing them up and you're pushing them up. Now, if we push back to our little shape, if we push back to the shape that we had a minute ago, or when we won the ball, so she has played this ball. Right, so we want our centre mid on there. We got a full back. We know that, yep. So I was mentioned about these wide players looking to want the ball. I'm going to say block in there, block in there. So what's happened the one time? So she kicked it, tried to play it over for our first goal. It comes here, and it's played here. Run in there. Back post. Full back has come in here. Our other full back has made the run. Boom. Out wide. It's come in here. It's flicked back off, and bang, goal. So that's how our first goal is sort of created, and how we sort of created our first goal. Now the second goal comes from something a little bit similar. So the only difference is here. So we've doubled up. So we've got 1. She's decided to try and come up. So 1 in front, 1 behind. There. We've got our midfield. We've got our full backs nice and high up here, looking to get them on the ball, looking to create chances. We've got our striker in here. You got 2 of the midfield free there. Okay. So it almost became like a 1-1 like that. Okay, so this is how the second goal comes. The ball is played. She's tried that ball out here, pressed, and it's put across, put in there, bang, 2-0. So we've already identified that quite early on. Now if we go back to our original shape, so if we go back to that original original short shape that we were setting up with. So they come narrow, these come sort of wider. Looking to play, like I mentioned, so we got the one there, one there, one there, one slightly more attacking, and here and here. Now they've got their 4-2 shape. But it's looking a little bit more like this now. So the next time is sort of here. The ball's sort of starting from the kickoff in here. I believe she's played it there, and it's come out here. What we've then done is our striker comes here. Striker number 1's pressed here. Bearing in mind we're 2-0 up at this point. Midfielder comes into here. Our fullback is actually the one who comes into this space, because anything that breaks down, any sort of issue, if there is a chance to create over here, we push, we push, we push. Okay, so we put her back out there, her back there, her back there. We know that if it breaks down, there's a chance. Now, we've pressed here. She's actually got on the ball. She ends up winning the ball off the player. The ball comes back into this space. Naturally, this midfielder that's just lost the ball comes in here. And you see that this is still touch tight. Now, we know this striker. I knew this striker. She had a lot of quality to turn on the ball and then drive into the space. So we know that the ball's there. We know she's going to turn her, which she'd often do. She's spun her, and she's got around her marker. So we know that. We've played her out the game. The winger's up out here. Like I say, we were trying to get our wingers high. The ball's come out. She's sort of hiding around the box. She's run all the way up in between the two centre-backs. She's making sure she's onside. Okay, now the midfielder who'd come out comes up. And then we sort of ended up with this sort of a shape. So we've still got our 3 back at this point. The ball is out here. Now she's done really, really well with this. It's gone in here. It's bounced around. Boing, boing, boing. Fallen to her, who we know has got the quality. She's already scored a goal. Our other striker scored the other one, and bang. She sort of like dinked it over the keeper for 2-0, for 3-0. So there's where our sort of third goal comes from. At this point, we start making changes. We rotate our fullback. We've got then bring on a fullback who would sort of have a nosebleed if she goes forward, just to start to sit out. On the other side, a fullback that again not necessarily has a nosebleed if she goes forward, but sort of likes to sit in. So we really start to limit where we attack. Now, some people would say that's a benefit. Some people would say that is a curse. So we go back to our original position. Okay, now this is the second half. We're 3-0 up at half time. So what we're then looking at... Oh no, we're 1-0 up at half time. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. 1-0 up at half time. So the first goal was half time. Now we were disappointed. Now the second half is where we come out to play. Now I say we've just created those 2 goals. We've created 2 chances. We've got 2 fantastic goals. Oh, hang on. No. Yeah, we were 3-0 up at half time. I was right. So we've gone back in the changing room pretty jubilant. But we know we cannot be complacent. We cannot be complacent. Okay? So we know we can't be complacent. We know we want to win the trophy. We know that I know I want to win my first game as a manager. First cup final as a manager. Okay, and we know the sort of style they're playing. Now she started going short a little bit. Like I say, these players pretty much sit. So we're up here. Our strikers are in here. These sort of pockets. Here. Sitting here. Our attacking midfielders sort of up here. And then we're sort of looking like this. Okay, so this is sort of how we are. So our fullbacks is very much a back four. The only thing is they've slightly pushed up here. So we're playing a very defensive line at this point. Looking not to get caught out. She has played the ball short here. Now we've gone like this. And we've actually picked up the ball. So we've nicked the ball again. This time we've done it here. And she's decided I'm on my second goal. I'm going to drive. Now she drives in, but this player comes in here, so she sort of doesn't have the chance to shoot. So she has one or two options here. She can put it back, or she can play out wide. The decision she made is what the one I think is the right one. She pulls it back here. But then what she then cleverly does is come sort of back into this box. So this player, the full backs come along, the centre backs come across. They're sort of still there. So what we've then done is create this little pocket of space on the outside of the box, knowing this is our sort of attacking midfielder, if you like, or to create the chance. So she knows she's playing the ball there, and then I know that H has got the quality to hit that in there. There you go, 4-0. So you're looking at the tactics and the way we're setting up, and sort of looking at creating the chances. And, you know, it was no disrespect to Dropship, but they were sort of very, not really a football playing side, if that makes sense. They were very, this ball up here, this ball up here, this ball here. This way, we know it's going out for a throw-in. This way, we know it's going out for a throw-in. Down the middle, we know we'll pin her in if she does get the ball, and then we'll pick it up. But I want to talk about now the fifth goal is actually a penalty. So we're lined up like this, similar to before. Like I say, she's tried to play that ball over the top. Now, we've actually had our fullback, or so as a nosebleed when she goes forward, come up. Our strikers sort of come in here. The ball has been whipped in. Bang. Penalty. Taken out from that ball, pushing the back. Clear wipe out. She knows she's wiped her out. Now, she's on her line. The goalie's on her line. Now, this, bearing in mind, she's on a hat-trick to win us the cup. Okay. So we're then looking at this. So she's just won us a penalty. She comes back, knowing that in case we are attacked. So we've still got this high line. We've still got this 4. We've still got the goalie, who I've now encouraged to push up a little bit. Our 3 drops back in. So should anything break down, you've got our line of 3, our line of 4. So we know if this penalty is missed and the keeper collects, we've got this back here, sort of defensively, sort of a protection, sort of a shield. Now what they do during this penalty is they get back to their 4. So they've got 1, let me make sure they're on the edge of the box. They got their 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got these 2 players here to sort of join in with the attack. They're then set up, ready. They've pushed her out wide, her out wide. They're sort of non-target striker. They put their target striker sort of in here. So as you can see, we've got our lines there. Okay, so this is the picture. This is where we are. This is the penalty. Now, I know she's got the quality to score the goal. You know, she's up the team captain and has every bit of ability. We know she's probably gonna score, but we are set up in the eventuality that she doesn't. Now the keeper, credit to her, trying to put her off, trying to do this, that, and the other, but we know she's on her hat trick. We know she scores this mayhem, and we know, I know we probably knew at 3-0, and probably at 4-0 too. But I think at 5-0, we sort of knew the cup was over. We had about 15-20 minutes to go by the point of this, and it was literally then. She's taking the penalty. She's doing all this, trying to put her off. She started to shift that way. She's then got our striker wearing the number 10's then got the quality to hit that ball. They're noticing that she's made that move. Okay, so then that is 5-0. We are then 5-0 up. So what we then do is make a few tactical changes. We take her off. Okay, so she comes off. We then do this. So we start pushing. We know we got to sit. So Chelsea come across here. We put on another. We don't put on another centre back. What we'd actually do is I'm not going to do it because it's too faffy to move around the counters. But what we actually do is the other striker that was playing up front with her, or sort of more like a footing around that wasn't the girl who scored a hat trick, can also play at centre back. She's played centre back for a lot of her career, younger career, when she was sort of youth level and things. So we put her at the back. So we've gone 5 at the back. We brought on our young, pacey German wonder kid, as we called her, out wide up here, because we know that these guys are causing terror, and we keep her high and wide. We do the same on the other side. Now our fullback moved the one that was. We knew that our previous fullback, because our previous fullback who was recovering from an injury, who's got pace as well. We know she has a nosebleed. She's very good at going forward. She can't get back. So we brought her on to play in that pacey role as well. And it's all about nullifying here for the last 20 minutes. Now we know we can create chances. We know we do create a couple more chances. We don't take them. So we know they set up and they're 4-4-2. So we know we keep these two high. Okay, what we then did is essentially go strikerless and create our 3 midfield pivot. For 10 minutes of the 20 we go strikerless. We keep these 3 here. Okay, so we sort of set up like that. What we then do, last 5 minutes, we know we need someone to try and hold the ball up in the corner. So we make one final change. We bring on our striker who, I think she's got about 10 goals. Not our main striker, not our backup striker, but sort of the third choice striker, if you like, who could also play out wide. We sort of bring her on, and it was all about nullifying them. It was all about keeping them in here, because they were just doing this. So we're just picking up the ball's coming in here, either hopelessly whipping it wide, or just getting them to carry into the corner and sort of waste times to sort of see the game out. So that was really important. Full time, obviously we win the cup, we sort of go through that and the jubilation and the excitement, and I'm absolutely delighted to be a cup winning manager. As you can imagine, I was 22 at the time. Real emotion and experience. Of course, congratulated the opposition players and staff, and to lift the trophy was the best feeling. So I really enjoyed that. I hope to win many more trophies in management. Of course, I've done another video, or will be doing another video, with my tactics for the Summer Cup, which was a couple of months later. I'm winning that and speak through my tactics for that. It's a bit more of a masterclass video. This is just more sort of like tactics, I suppose you could probably say they're both masterclasses if you want. But yeah, that's sort of how we nullified them out. that's how we finished the game off. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, my tactical insight and sort of insight into to my way of thinking in that cup final, why I did certain things, and my tactics and my ideology. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Again, a bit different content. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of my tactics. Let me know what you would maybe do differently, or what you agree with. Do you believe that, obviously we know it was effective, would you have nullified the game differently? Would you have set up differently? Would you have counteracted their playing style a little bit differently? Would you have done the high press and sort of, or would you have shut the game out? Whatever you would have done, would you have exploited the half space more? Things like that. But let me know if you enjoy this type of video. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.